One thing that can be easily overlooked is stationery. Invitations, orders of services and table settings can really help define the theme for your day. Consider using a professional stationer who can give you expert advice on what to choose. I met Sarah Perkins of Millbank and Kent Stationery, who told me more. Hi Sarah, it's lovely to meet you. Now, as an expert designer of wedding stationery, what sorts of questions should a bride and groom be asking when planning this section of their day?
One of the first things you're going to think about with your stationery is how many months in advance I need to actually send them out. Most brides, I find, send them out 3 months in advance of the actual wedding date. If you're getting married abroad or if you're having a summer wedding, sometimes it's worth sending them out a little bit before that, just so that your guests can think about accommodation or flights, and if they've already got holidays booked, to plan the wedding around that.
And with that in mind, the save the date cards, they're quite a good idea,
Yes.
quite popular at the moment.
Yeah, no, they're very popular. They're great, again, if you're having a wedding abroad or a summer wedding, because your guests can get really organised. If there's a wedding abroad also, you might want to save up, say if you're having a wedding in Australia. So yes, just thinking ahead and get the guests to get the date in the diary.
And how many invitations do I actually want to send out?
Usually I base it around 1 per couple or 1 per family member, but also remember to order some spares, because it's easy to make a mistake. And also what you'll find is, say if somebody can't come for the day, you'll then want to invite one of your evening guests to the day instead. So stagger sending out your day and evening invites for that scenario.
And is an RSVP card a good idea to enclose with the invitation?
Yeah, it's a really good idea. What you find is your guests are really not very organised, not very good at sending back an RSVP. So by having it there in front of them with a return address, stamp, and a deadline for when it should be sent back, it really helps you to organise the rest of the wedding.
Now, with the design of the card, is it possible for me to choose a bespoke design and my own words?
It is. You usually have to pay a little bit more than the average stationery, but it's really nice and personal, and when your guest receives the invite, they can really see you've had it made. They've had it made especially for them. One thing that we offer is actually colour matching of the stationery to your actual colour scheme for the wedding. So for instance, matching it with the bridesmaid's dress or the bride's flowers, which is a really nice touch.
So will I get to see a proof copy of my stationery before it's printed?
That's an important thing to ask your stationer. It's really important to get a proof, because obviously a typing error doesn't look very good when you send it out to your guests. One thing I recommend is to get a lot of your family and friends just to check the stationery, because what you might not see the error, whereas somebody else will. Service we also provide is online proofing, which is great for the busy bride or groom, because they can actually check the design online and the content and sign off the proofing within minutes, rather than waiting days for things to and fro in the post. So yes, it's a good idea.
Now, the hotel where I'm having my reception has offered to sort out the stationery on the day. Is that a good idea?
The thing to remember is the wedding coordinator at the reception, they specialise in organising the catering, the accommodation, the entertainment, just getting the reception ready. They're not wedding stationers. I'm sure they do a lovely job, but what you should be thinking of is your wedding stationer has the facility to offer you the same design as which you've already had, say, in your invitation and your order of service, just to follow the theme through. What you should remember is, the wedding date starts with an invite and ends with a thank you card. So the stationery is quite a big part within the wedding process.
And it provides nice continuity as well.
Yes, definitely.
Now, you mentioned the order of service. How many of these should I get printed?
If you've got the budget, have 1 per guest. But what I find with most of my clients is they order 1 per couple, which is sufficient. And remember, if you've got small children, they're not going to want one anyway. No. So, don't over-order.
Okay. Now, the content of the order of service, should I check that with the vicar or registrar before the day?
Yes, that's highly recommended. They will be used to the procedure. Check that you've got the order correct, and that the hymns are spelt right. You've got the right amount of verses per hymn. There's lots of things to think about, but they're the experts and they'll be able to tell you straight away if the order's correct.
That's excellent. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
When considering stationery and invites, send out your invitations 3 months in advance. Send out one per couple but allow extras for mistakes. Send out the day invitations first and then the evening invitations after refusals. Always view a proof copy before you place your order.